Chicago is starting to defrost. Nothing is more exciting than seeing the Cubs and Sox start their season. The weather is perfect. I absolutely love my city. And Ernest, I have to say, once the city is back in summer mode, we're going to have to go to all the River North clubs to get in some mischief.
Couldn't agree with you more on that. We would definitely tear it up, as they say.
Can you believe we're on episode 10?
Can't believe it, brother. It's just gone by so quick.
We kind of like reached the milestone. It's like one episode each week, and then all of a sudden you get to the magic number 10. Pretty soon we're going to be to a whole year. And I can't wait to see what is going to happen at the beginning of that new season once we're here for a whole year, where we've come as a group, as a show. A lot of new exciting things.
Josh, I got to say, I'm excited. And let me tell you, it's one of those things where it went by so quick. And I want to tell you, I remember every episode that we've had. But it's gone by so quick. I don't remember anything. It's just we just keep moving, we keep going. So I'm excited.
Same, brother. Headlines are next, and I got a lot to say in these headlines, and we're going to do the show a little bit differently with some new segments. I'm excited for what the future holds. I think episode 10, you start thinking outside the box of what you're going to talk about, and hopefully the crowd loves it. So stay tuned. We'll be right back.
You are listening to The Facts, the Fellas and Facts podcast with your hosts, Josh and EJ. Starts right now.
Republicans are now ripping 4 blue state governors for keeping taxes on tips on overtime after Trump reprieved our Democrat-led states that rejected President Trump's policy of no taxes on tips and overtime. Pay are getting called out by the Republicans for going against efforts to increase affordability. The governors of the 3 largest Democratic-run states, California, New York, and Illinois, are now continuing to tax tips and overtime against Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill. While Colorado will require taxpayers to report how much is deducted federally so it can be added back for state taxes in the future. Governor Hochul and Albany Democrats believe your money is their money. They are picking their pockets of waitresses, bartenders, and first responders who are working overtime just to make ends meet in the state that is already the highest tax burden in the country. With affordability and key political issues, Republicans countered with a tax day narrative against the governors of those 4 blue states that are facing midterm re-elections, including Hochul, who is running for re-election in California, Governor Gavin Newsom, who terms out this year, and also Illinois Republican Party Chair Kathy Salivy. Kathy, if I said your name wrong, I'm sorry, says that while Illinois' Governor J.B. Pritzker, let's say that, is running for re-election in the nation's 3rd highest blue state, he is really positioning himself for a 2020 presidential campaign on the agenda of obstructing Trump. Let me just pause there for a second and say, I was right. I called it.
Indeed you were, sir. Indeed you were.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Last year, President Trump delivered the largest tax cut in American history by putting millions of dollars back in the pockets of Americans. This is common sense legislation. It's good for Illinois, but wannabe J.B. Pritzker would rather slam the door shut on opportunity and relief, knowing full well that he supported and empowered Joe Biden's economic disaster. I agree with this. Taxes on everything from transferring your car to gas taxes to, food taxes, grocery tax. If we list how many taxes that we get, our founding fathers would be, what the hell are you doing? We were protesting a breakfast beverage. But you get a tax when you're living, when you're born, when you die.
Yeah, Josh, it's a frustrating thing. Can't even go get some milk. You got the city tax of, 75 cents. You got the Illinois tax of another $1.25. Then you got your federal tax. I mean, it's ridiculous. I walk down the street, it's $9 for a gallon of milk. Or my other option is to drive 10 minutes down the road to get a $5 milk, but now I've spent, the money on gas. Lose.
It's a lose-lose situation across the board, especially for people with families. So people wake up, listen to what these guys are saying. Oh, well, because I don't like Trump and, I don't like Republicans. I think they're racist and they're mean and all this other stuff. I'm not going to vote for them. But look what happens to your wallets. Just saying. Let's go into the Iran war. A 10-day ceasefire has begun between Israel and Lebanon, according to the announcement by U.S. President Donald Trump, who spoke with Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. That's a weird last name to say. And Lebanese President Joseph, I'm not even going to pronounce his last name. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has threatened Iran, saying forces are ready to combat if Tehran does not agree to a deal to end this war. I can admit when I'm wrong, and I did last week. I think when President Trump said he was going to bomb a whole civilization, I didn't think he was meaning that he was going to drop a nuke, because what has happened from that, he bombed their economic structure. And what I mean by that is he said, okay, nothing is going out of the Strait of Hormuz. You're not going to leave anything. You're not going to make money. That is about $233 million a day that they get. If they have no funding, their army and military doesn't get funded. So Trump was like, okay, we're going to open up our end, and here we go. We're going to give them gas. And people were like, well, if we're giving them gas and, all this other good stuff, why isn't oil coming down for us? I said, wait for the economics. It's supply and demand. You just got to watch. He's a smart motherfucker. I'm going to tell you that right now.
I agree. I think we all get scared when we hear about the term war, battle, and things of that nature. But we also forget there's different types of war. There's different types of battle. To your point last week, the moment we hear war, we're thinking people are going to die. That's the first thing that comes to mind when we hear the term war. But we also forget, like I said, there's economics that go into this. There's money that goes into these things. And sometimes we're just going to take a different route of war. Not to say we're not going to get our hands dirty as needed, but there's different levels to these battles and wars that the United States is going through. And like you said, just need to wait it out, see what happens. If you expect something to happen right away, good luck in life. That's with anything you do. Let it play out.
I agree.
Let's see what happens.
No, totally agree with that. And he says that the war is going to be over soon. He just announced that, with Iran agreeing to the deal, because they cannot continue with this economic crisis that they're having. All I see for us is money in the bank, but it just has to. A lot of people say, we want answers now. We want money now. It doesn't work like that. If you invest in the stock market with a 401k, you look 1 week and you say, oh, I only have $200, but wait until years until it grows, and then you see the financial benefits of. But we digress. Now we go to local. Just like everything that is in the world, everybody's just loony. I'm going to point this out. Every political party has their, I would say, step cousins that really don't need to be in the family, if that makes sense. Okay. With Democrats, you got some crazy people. Republicans got some crazy people. And I think they're kind of showing their true colors. So a reported bomb threat was prompt investigations in New Lenox as police responded Wednesday in the South Chicago suburban home where the brother of Pope Leo lives. According to New Lenox police, officers were called to private residence on Sojourn Road around 6:29 after receiving a report of the bomb threat. Police set up a perimeter around the home and asked nearby residents to leave as a precaution. After a thorough search of the property using canines, investigators determined the threat was unsustainable. No explosives or hazardous materials were found. No injuries ordered all residents were allowed to return to their home after the scene was cleared. This home does belong to the Pope's brother, John. John, my boy, sorry for the scare, but there's some people in this world that are just need to tone it down a little bit because it's not all that serious. Just because your president is having a disagreement with a political figure, politics are going to be like this. It's not because he's liberal. It's not because he's a Republican. It doesn't matter what it is. The Pope is always going to say peace. Talk about peace and not war. Talk about humanity. That's all he's going to talk about. And people need to understand that's what political figures do.
Couldn't agree with you more on that.
It's just, this world is just becoming a little bit more crazier and crazier each day. And like I said last week, the headlines never surprise me each week when I type them up in our little teleprompter. And I go, no surprise there. But we have a show for you today. We're talking about the summer life. I can't wait to talk about the nightclubs, the bars, the warm weather, and the summer dresses. We'll be right back after this message from our favorite sponsors. Stay with us.
Style is a big deal for all of us, especially me. I like to look my best from head to toe. And speaking of toe, I know an incredible individual that her work speaks for itself. Margaret Ray, the owner and founder of Simplest Shoes in Dalton, Illinois, will have your footwear looking from drab to fab in no time. Her unique eye of color and detail is like art that will make your shoes shine, dazzle for days to come, making everyone you know ask where they could get a pair too. All you have to do is call Margaret at 708-953-0015 and discuss the many custom options and designs. Also, give her a like on Facebook at Simplest Shoes with the Z today.
We're talking nightclubs. We're talking bars. We're talking life that is not the norm on a typical Friday or Saturday. In the summer days of Chicago. I love our fucking city. I don't care what event is downtown, going on a boat to look at the same buildings that you've grown up for years. I don't care. I'll do it all over again. I love the food. I love the restaurants. I love the people, and especially the fucking ladies that go out with their little summer dresses and a wind catches them. I'm like, ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Talk about it. City or suburbs?
Josh, I got to go with the city. I got to do it. Not because I currently live near the city right now, but there's just so many different things to do. Yes, it's a little expensive, but I'm not going out to the suburbs to go to a club, get a section.
Don't you dare say anything about the suburbs. There's nothing wrong with the suburbs, and I told you this before. This is the only thing that we don't agree on. You city folk, everything's too far. Everything is just, you still got to drive where I can walk.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
These are all reasonable things. Why would I want to drive 45 minutes, get to someone's house, then I got to drive 35 minutes to somewhere else because the suburbs, there's no civilization right next to you. You got to go somewhere else.
Where the fuck do you think I live? Do you think I live in the middle of the hick town of a country? No, I live in a very populated suburban town.
If you want to go to the same bars every time, that's the difference with the suburbs. You have to go to the same bars right near you. Yes, you'll become a regular. Maybe they'll buy you a shot every once in a while. But you go to the city, you can get dropped off dead in the middle of the city. The world is your oyster. You go wherever you want. You're in the mood for this food, you get this food. You want to go get this type of drink, you get this drink. You like these ladies over here, you go to there. If you want to go to this type of club, you want to go urban, you want to go disco, you want to go emo punk night, you want to go drag brunches. It's all in the city. Whatever you're into, it's like a rainbow of choices. Doesn't matter what you want to do. But why would I go to the suburbs? Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go ahead first. I'm gonna ruin this debate now. I'm gonna put facts on facts.
I'm gonna let you put your facts on facts. I got a couple things in the chamber, so go ahead, hit me.
No, you go ahead. So, okay. Yes, everything is downtown, but you have to pay for parking. You have to pay for Ubers. Okay. At least you go to, in a suburb, you go to one bar, like Bourbon Street, 5 different bars all across the board, and you can have a good night there. And then 10 minutes down the road, quick Uber, you can go to a gentleman's club called Polecats.
Sure.
And then end your night at 4 or 5 in the morning. Or you can go to another bar that's 5 minutes away, or 122, and drink until 5 o'clock in the morning or till whatever time that they close. And then your night's done. And then you don't have to deal with getting mugged. I don't want to get robbed. City suburbs. Can't debate that.
That's a pretty good one. I'll give you that one. Getting robbed or something stupid happening, I'll give you that. However, I do not want to necessarily just go to one place, even if they have everything I need, even if they do. That's just not for me. I'd rather be able to go a couple different places, see what's going on. If it's not fun there, I can just go down the street. Yes, you got to take the Uber, but at least I know I can get as drunk as I want. I can do whatever I want. I don't have to worry about, I got too drunk at Bourbon Street. You still got to get home. So now you got 2 options. Either leave your car or you're going to take an Uber anyway. Because we're not going to break the law, Josh. We would never do that.
No, we wouldn't do that. I mean, we're not saying that. No.
So
don't.
Either
we
way,
can't do that.
You're probably going to have to take an Uber if you're doing things by the book. You go downtown, you take the Uber down there. Now, if you go by yourself, I agree. I could agree with you on that. I just went to the South Side I think it was last weekend. Spent $65 for my Uber to get down there. I spent almost $85 to get back up north. It took me 20-some minutes just to get the Uber from the South Side because they kept canceling on me because they don't want to go all the way up north because usually people like to end their trips, wherever they live at. So nobody wanted to give me a ride. That's fine. But if we all would have went out downtown, you'll get an Uber to the South Side. No problem. There's 1 billion Uber drivers. You'll get home regardless. 2, we went down Western Avenue. Good old Western, bar hopper. Grew up doing that. That's the life. Love it. First place you went to. 2 people in there, and that's including the bartender. You can do whatever we want in that place, right? That's good for boys' night out hang, right? We get to take over the jukebox or touch tunes, whatever it's called. Play whatever we want. Fun times. Then we're like, okay, let's kick it up a notch, right? You go to the next bar down on Western. Now there's 8 people in there and looking at me like, who is this large black man walking in here? Little do they know, I've probably been going here longer than half these people in there. But cool, we go there. Now we see 8 new people, all old people. No one even close to my age in there. Then we go to the next bar. Cool, I see some people I knew growing up with, cool. But there's like 10 people in that bar. And then finally we're like, all right, we got to go to one more. We go to this other one on Western. Terrible. There's like 2 people in there. The bartender looks like she's doing some sort of drugs outside. I asked her to make like 15 shots. She looked at me like, oh my God, you're going to make me do work tonight? Ma'am, it is a Saturday night. Yes, you're going to do some work. You're going to do some work. We're going to tip you well. You're going to do some work. Sorry that we inconvenienced you for your night. I've never in my life gone downtown and had that happen. Never. I've never gone to River North and, it's slow today. Now, yeah, there's some bars, just a little bit outside downtown. We're sure you get a slow night in there. But you're never going to go to the city and be like, oh man, the city was dead last night. It's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen. The suburbs have its place. It does.
Okay, I can agree with that. Okay. But there's certain bars that are not like that. For instance, if you wanted to do dinner or eat some good food, Jameson's in Frankfurt.
Love it.
Crowded as ever.
Love it.
Crowded as ever. Great people. Good scenery, if you know what I mean.
Sure.
Ben. You understand what I'm saying? You got to pick the right bar, not the dive bar where the famous drunks, the neighborhood drunk, always goes to drink a whole 5th of vodka and then piss his pants, and then that's his night. You're going to, and then if you got a bartender that looks like crack rock Ruby, okay, if you got somebody who looks like a crackhead, those are not the bars that I'm not going to. if you look in Evergreen Park and Oak Lawn, there is a lot of bars that are very cool that go to the demographic of the neighborhood. And I'm scared because I think I'm a very nervous person when I go downtown to a bar. I'd never been to a downtown bar. I've been to not. That's why I said I'm excited to go to River North, but I'm nervous because I don't like being in a room where it's shoulder to shoulder. I'm already a big fucking dude, okay? Me trying to fit through a bunch of skinny motherfuckers, okay? That's impossible. And I'm rubbing my stomach all over them and other things, and it's like, that's not attractive.
And other things. Do you want the stomach or the back? Which one do you want? It's like when you go to church and you're squeezing through the pews. Which ones do you want? You want the stomach or the ass? Either way, I'm getting through this pew. But I definitely feel you on that. I feel you on that. I like being in control of where I'm at, right? And maybe that's just paranoid from the industries that we've chosen. That gives us that little bit of paranoia when we go into a place. We like to know where the exits are. We like to know the demographics of where we're going into. We like to know, if anything ever happened at this place. Those are just things. I don't think it's necessarily our professions, but I think sometimes as men, we like to make sure we like to be able to make sure we can get ourselves out of a situation if we need to. And when you start experimenting,
110%.
Yeah, you start experimenting with these new places, especially in the River North or, Lincoln Park areas. There's all these random places up north. Yes, every time you go into a place, you just don't know what you're going to get, right? But I will ask you this, Josh. Where do you go in the suburbs to listen to hip hop or rap? Give me one spot, any spot. And don't say Bourbon Street. Don't say Bourbon Street. Because they'll play hip hop for 20 minutes and they'll switch over to dubstep, and I got people headbanging in there about to dislocate their neck. So give me your hip hop spot. Don't worry, I'll wait.
You mean a true hip hop, like fans, boots on the ground kind of hip hop?
I'm not even saying like a true hip hop spot. I'm saying where you'll hear at least give me 60%, 70% rap hip hop songs. And I don't mean Fetty Wap because he's popular now. And everybody's talking about come my way. I don't want to hear that. I'm talking.
Fetty Wap's bad thing. What are you talking about?
Yeah, Fetty Wap.
Are you that old?
Fetty Wap was gone for a couple of years, right? He just did his little prison stint. He came out. Now he's resurfacing. I love Fetty Wap. I was just listening to Fetty Wap earlier today. Cool, no doubt. He don't count. He does not count. I'm talking about just you want to go put on some Chicago drill music every once in a while, where the rest of the club or the bar doesn't look around like, oh my God, what is going on here? You can go to River North and they'll still put on some old Chief Keef. They'll put on some, something like that. They'll play at least 1, 2, 3 tracks, or some Chicago drill music. That's not happening in the suburbs. And every once in a while, you gotta divvy it up a little bit. I love country music. Cool. If you told me, Josh, hey, we're going out, we're going to this bar, they play a lot of country music, I'm there. I'm with you. But then if I say, okay, I'm not feeling this anymore, where are we going next?
Okay. You have me there. You have me there for a second. But here's my question to you. Okay. These bars that have all this rap.
Damn.
What is going to attract them? Because you know damn well that there was one bar in the River North area that was shut down because somebody was shot and killed on the outside.
Yep.
That's all I'm going to say.
I think I was probably working there at the time. And I will say this. The all-white parties, the all-white day parties on a Saturday at like 11, when we call it urban night, it gets a little rough. It does. I'm not gonna say it doesn't. But here's the thing. You can leave and go down the street and go somewhere else. So you can get your little feel, get your little rap, get your whatever. And then you can be like, hey, it's getting dark and stormy in here. And,
it's getting dark and stormy. There's a chance of severe weather happening. Hold on 1 second.
I'm serious. We'd say those things on the radio. Be like, hey, it's getting a little dark and stormy in here. Just be on high alert. So my thing is, I could always leave. That's my only thing about being up north. Me and my girl went out, I think it was like 2 weeks ago. Place we're at, it was dead. It was crickets. 10 minutes up the road, as you're walking, because it was a warm day out, most of the places got their windows open. They got the patios up and running.
I love that.
You walk down the street and you're like, hey, that place looks like it's all right, because you can just see it. The window front just shows good time. Hey, let's go check it out. Now, yeah, you get there. To your point, you have no idea how much things cost in there because you've never been there. You don't know the atmosphere, but you see a bunch of smiling faces. You go in there, check it out, you have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
So that is why I pitched the city. But again, if me and you talk about what we're going to do ahead of time, then my expectations are going to be there. You say country, let's go do it. You say emo night, I went to a Sunday night emo night. Had the best time of my life. But I knew that going into it. I was like, this is
I don't
great.
know about that. I don't know about that, Ernest. I don't know about that.
You don't do the emo nights?
I don't know about that.
Little
like I said,
Evanescence.
Country crowds I can deal with. Rap I can deal with. The DMX, the dub stuff people, I can deal with that there. You can tell they're having a good time because their pupils are like 10 times this big, and they're like, man, this is some sick shit. It's going to make you throw up. And I'm like, what? If it's going to make you throw up, stay away from me.
Josh,
I'm trying to have a good time.
You never had that beat that just makes you sick to your stomach, that bass that just, that doesn't.
Then that's not music, okay? Now, if you tell me, okay, we're going to a bar and they're listening to Bob Seger and you got the good old boys on stage singing their songs, yeah, I can have that's a conversation like, okay, I'm talking to somebody because I'm not paying attention to the atmosphere. So that's the only thing that, I love those bars. Just to sit back, talk. Yeah, there's a little background noise, but it's not crazy. Even though some old people and middle-aged people get down and they're like, this is like the best fucking time in the world. Yes. But no, I'm going to trust you. And I don't care if it's country rap or whatever the case may be, but in case it does get dark and stormy. My only fear is if we do go to a bar and it does become dark and stormy, I have to get my wallet ready, like not wait for the bartender to cash me out with my card and say, over here. Cause that happens at suburban bars. You're waiting for the bartender to come around and you're like, cash me out like now. Like, I'm going to have to carry cash and be like, yeah, all right, let's bounce.
Yeah.
Let's bounce.
I mean, sometimes that's just what you got to do. And I will be there for you. I will hold your hand through this, Josh. Make sure you get from point A to point B safely. You'll have a great time. We'll meet some people.
Oh, you're going to hold my hand?
I'm going to hold your hand if you want me to. Hey, now.
Oh, you sweetheart.
But, I think one thing to kind of talk about this is, what are you doing before you go out? Are you pre-gaming? Are you getting after it? How drunk do you got to be before you leave the house, depending on what you're doing? Are we getting too old to pre-game? Is the first bar you go to the pre-game? What do you do?
Okay, so usually, and this is a typical boys' night, if it's boys' night, we're pre-gaming a little bit. We get a good, like, I like claw tails. It's new. They're kind of new. I don't know how new they are. But the highest can of mixed drink that you can get that doesn't have a lot of sugar because, I'm trying to watch the calories.
Sure.
But, you get the highest alcohol volume on it. And then you have a couple of those, just talk, say, hey, what happened during the week, whatever. Okay, where are we going to eat? Because we're in the suburbs. It's either Jameson's or somewhere else. We love Jameson's. Get our bite to eat. Have a couple more drinks while at dinner. All right, then we start planning the route. So I like having a pregame because then you don't spend as much at the bar. And then you can socialize, dance, and do what you have to do. Now, don't get me wrong. If I feel like I'm, a little thirsty and need a couple more, and that's where the strong drinks start coming in because I'm a whiskey drinker. So whiskey and Diet Cokes are my favorite thing to drink.
Diet Coke.
And those get expensive because sugars. I got to watch the sugars.
Listen, when you drink and you're not thinking about the sugars and stuff, man.
But when you're diabetical, you got to be a little more cautious with your health, or else you're going to have high blood sugar all night.
Just do a whiskey water. Whiskey, a little splash of water, you're good to go.
Oh, that's true too.
And don't put no bullshit. Don't put no bullshit Diet Coke in there. It just ruins the whole whiskey. I'm offended. I'm offended.
Okay, I do whiskey and water.
There we go.
And if I do, okay, before it was whiskey and Coke, not Diet Coke, but whiskey and Coke, that sugary drink. But once in a while, I like whiskey and cranberry, like a Crown Apple and cranberry.
Never had that.
Those are very good. I fucking love them.
Whiskey and cranberry. Okay.
Crown Apple.
Crown Apple
and cranberry juice.
See, I do Crown Apple and Sprite. Delicious.
Yeah, it just tastes like a Jolly Rancher. That's my favorite thing. I love Crown. And people go, "Oh, you drink Crown?" Fuck off, okay? I'm not this big bourbon guy where I'm taking a little sip, like that much. You put that much in a glass, swig it around, and be like, "Yeah, I'm tasting my bourbon." This is a 1950s bottle. I'm not all into that.
Okay.
I'll try it.
Yeah.
If somebody has it, my one buddy who was my boss at the time, he lives in Minnesota now. Hi, Corey. He got this new house, fucking fabulous house. And, in the middle of this nice suburban neighborhood. His neighbor was so far away that he had all this room. And I'm like, damn, this is a nice house. In his basement, he had a barrel table. He got a barrel, made it as a table, and had all of his whiskey bourbon that he collected on the wall. I was like, oh, wow. This is the kind of man cave I want. Just add a cigar, humidor into it.
There you go. Sounds perfect to me. I must say, I do enjoy the good old, good whiskey, but it all depends on what we're doing that night. If we already have the intentions, hey, we're going to be out late, hit me with the whiskey Sprite, hit me with the whiskey whatever. Like you said, the pre-made ones, like I think the new one's called the On the Rocks, and the already pre-made ones. Give me one of those.
Those are good too.
Oh, yeah.
Very good.
Give me one of those. Give me a couple of those before we go out. Let's go grab some food, things like that, and then we move forward to the rest of the night. I will say I don't usually pregame as much anymore, solely because I have terrible time management. So I'm usually the last one there. You already started your pregame, so I'll start mine when we get to the bar. But occasionally, I'll get there actually on time. And before I know what everyone's thinking, no, I just have bad management. When it comes to work, I'm good. When it comes to my personal life, time management, nah. Stop making that face. Nah, I ain't trying to hear it.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Harpo. I don't know that.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
I don't know about that, Harpo.
I don't know about that, Harpo. I asked you today. I said, "What?" I go.
Shoot, I forgot about that.
We do this a couple days ago. In true story time. This is a true story confession. I said on Thursday, okay, are we doing it tonight or are we recording on Saturday? Because I have to edit the show on Sunday for a Monday publication. He goes, no, we had a rough day. I said, yeah, we had a rough week. It's been long, been terrible. Let's do it on Saturday. I said, cool. 11 o'clock, good for you? Yeah, same time that we did last week because he had a bachelor party. He goes, cool. So I'm texting him at 11. I'm ready to go. By 11:15, I call him, go straight to voicemail. And then he texts me. He goes, I'll be ready by 11:35, 11:25, 11:35, 11:40. And I'm like, fuck, that's a big window. Choose one fucking time to be ready and let's get the fuck going here. Like, don't tell me between 11:25 and 11:40. That's a big window. So I don't know if you're going to jump in at like 11:32 or what the fuck happened. But yeah, this guy is just something else. But when we go out, I can't. Go ahead. You go ahead and use.
Needless to say, yes, that is a true story. This just happened about an hour ago. That's fair. I did admit time management on a personal level, not the best. In fairness, though, my first time, for those that are listening and you want to get in on this, I said 11:35 to 11:50. So it's a 15-minute window. Then I typed and said 11:25 to 11:40. Yes, Josh did make the comment of, hey, that's a big window. Actually, he said, what am I, a girl? Which I feel is uncalled for, okay?
He said, you are worse than a woman.
Okay.
because they were like, oh, I'll be ready in 15 minutes. Let me just do my hair and my makeup and all this other stuff. And you're not even fucking ready. And I'm like, God, what is wrong with you?
I think we're leaving out a very key thing, which is my back hurts, man. My back is on fire right now. And the worst part was when you called me, I knew exactly what you were calling me about. And I saw the phone ringing. The problem is my back hurt so much, I couldn't pick up the phone. So the only way for me to get to the phone was I had to roll over. And, my bed I don't have a firm mattress. It's one that's a little old, kind of sinks in. But the way I rolled, I was able to roll my phone off the pillow it was on so that I could get closer to it and do one of those like behind the back little passes, like, got it. And then that's when I text you. But, it is what it is. Yes, when we go out, you want to probably plan stuff like a week, 2 weeks in advance and stuff like that. You can plan however your heart desires. You probably want to check in with me the night before and be like, hey, EJ, are we still good for this time? Whatever time I say, yeah, let's do that, just add an hour to it. That way you can just mentally prepare. We're still new in our like going out relationship, right? We're still new to going out, doing stuff, things like that. So just future, reference, add an hour to it. Whatever time you say, you're like, hey, why don't you come over around like 5? Cool, I'll be there. Just know I'll be there at 6. And you'll be good to go.
6:30.
Oh,
6:37.
Listen, you live all the way out in the boons, brother. Hey, traffic.
I will meet you at your freaking house. But if you're sitting there saying, oh, we're not going to pregame, we're going straight to the bar, and I'm just sitting there watching your dog, and I'm like, oh, good puppy. Oh, very nice.
If you tell me you're on the way, okay, but hold on. If we say like, hey, come by at like 5, we'll start pre-gaming. You should probably text me when you're on your way. Don't just show up at 5. Because you just don't know what I'm going to be doing at 5. I could be getting ready, and now you sit in your car waiting on me to come outside and let you in the gate. So you just things to think about. We'll figure it out.
True.
But yes, we will absolutely pregame. We will have a couple cocktails. I'm going to probably treat you to some nice whiskey. That's just me because I got some nice stuff here. We're just out in Michigan. I don't know if you like cherries. We got some cherry infused stuff. We'll get some good. Oh yeah, it's good. That's nice. I just had some of it last night. 20-year single barrel cherry infused. A little dry, but that is the one you put about that much in it, and you just kind of sip on it. So we'll do one of those, and then we'll get the night started.
What do you do to prepare for a night out? Now, you said that your back hurts. Are you taking Advil at the beginning or at the end?
No, that's how I start my morning. I start my morning with a fistful of probably Advil, take the rest of my vitamins, get myself together, probably go to the gym for a little bit. As we start getting closer to the night out, probably start drinking, maybe make myself a drink, jump in the shower. That way sometimes you get the drink going with the steam of the shower, get yourself feeling good. I get out of the shower, I probably need a good 20 minutes out of the shower. I need 20 minutes drinking on my drink, scrolling on my phone, because I'm probably not going to be on my phone the rest of the night. So I get all that stuff out the way. Then I got to put some music on. I'm probably putting on some Chicago drill music. And I don't even like Chicago drill music like that, but I do sometimes. So that's me. I'm putting some of that on, probably some older stuff. Then, depending on if I'm with somebody, we're probably going to take a shot or two. I'm an efficient drinker. Okay, that's why I don't do the whiskey and Diet Cokes and all that. I'm efficient. So we're doing shots.
That's the second time that you mentioned my drink.
The Diet Coke stuff bothered me, man. I just don't get it. I don't get it.
It's called a mixed drink. Get over it, you baby.
You can go get that at the bar. You what do you need that for? You're pre-gaming. Take some shots, rip some shots, get the blood going, and then after that, we're out the door. I put my clothes on. I'll tell you this though, I'm gonna put this out there for anyone. I'm a huge Jersey Shore fan. I watched Jersey Shore in college from start to finish. I still watch their vacation shit when they're old and all that type of stuff. So I am a big believer in like t-shirt time and all that. I get ready. I got the wife beater on. I got the jeans on. I got the boots. We're drinking. We're pre-gaming. You say, hey, let's get ready to go. Cool. Take a couple spritz of cologne. Then you put the shirt on. Then you get that going. Find yourself a hat. Today, we're being brought to you by what hopefully will be someday Happy Dad. We're not sponsored yet. Let's get that going. Put on my trusty hat, throw some earrings in. I'm out the door. Let's go. And then we'll wait our 20 minutes for an Uber to get to us.
Okay.
And that's my pregame.
Are you a? I could tell who I am. In the summertime, it's a t-shirt, shorts, and either Hey Dudes. That's my dress of choice.
All right.
If it's a nice club, jeans, good jeans, nice, not dress shoes, because nobody wants to wear dress shoes at the club, but something that looks like dress shoes but looks like tennis shoes. You know, those I forgot what the brand's called, but wear some of those and a nice dress shirt, you know, to go with if you're going to a nice club. And like I said, I love Scentbird because I get the scent tubes every month.
Yes, sir.
And I'm like, ooh, let me just try this one. And everybody loves it when I go out to the club and they're like, oh, you smell really nice. And I got all the girls up and I'm like, yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking.
Do you take your Scentbird with you? You put that in your pocket, you know, just in case.
Oh, hell yeah.
Need a little refresher.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, got to.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a little refresher, and then I have, like, if, you know, of course I'm a vape. Yeah, kids, I know. Vaping is bad.
Tis.
But I have a vape, and I might keep my, you know, extra vape battery or a charger, you know. You can't carry a purse because, you know, it's like, okay, what the fuck, you carried a man bag? You know, you can't do that. We're not in California. But I have some essentials, and if we have a DD and we don't have to spend money on Uber, we keep it in the car. And all the essentials in the car, comb, everything. You know, hair has to look good. You know, before you even get out the shower, I spray it with a little bit of hairspray, a little bit of gel. Make sure it's more than I normally use, because if I'm dancing, you sweat, all that, your hair looks like crap. And then at the end of the night, usually, if it was a bourbon night, it would have been a Polecats night. And everybody who hasn't been to Polecats, whew.
Oh boy.
We, me and my one friend, we were known because we had aliases. We were, I think, John and, you know, Jack or something. Whatever the case may be, it was Matthew and John. And it was kind of biblical in a sense to say those two things. And I'm like, oh, well, we're going to a nudie establishment, a titty bar kind of a sort. And we have these aliases. We don't want people knowing what we did, you know, or what we were doing. So we were from Waste Management, good paying job. So go to we were already trash. We're in this bar. And of course, every single time John would frickin' get asked to go into a private room, I said, dude, we can't do private rooms. We could do in the open, $80 dances. That is it. Everybody's got sections. How much for the section? $300. No, we're gonna try to get a table, you know, on the floor. You know, one of those generic tables for the poor people.
Yeah. You're not sitting on Pervert's Row, Josh.
No, not Pervert's Row.
Not Pervert's Row.
Doing that.
You're not there yet. Not there
doing
yet.
That.
Left. Okay.
Not doing that. We're against the wall by the nice section at this you know. All right, what are you drinking? Well, I can't drink any more whiskey. I'm about to pearl. Give me a beer at the end of the night. Get a beer, and then you got that one coming like, hey, how you doing? And she's just right. Oh, you're so strong. I go, you're a lying sack of shit. But yes, I am strong. How you doing? So you start going into the fantasy. She was like, my name is Miss Boston, and she was gorgeous. Gorgeous. Brings it, are you ready for a dance? I'm like, fuck yeah, my first dance. Well, John gets taken into the private room, and the last time John got taken to the private room, he was at the ATM trying to get more money, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? We only had this much. This is all we're set for. What are you doing? You know? Of course, his bank account was like denying him. His bank was denying him because it was fraudulent transactions and stuff. They were like worried, like, you're trying to take out $1,000, Mr. John. What are you doing here? And he was like, fuck it, I'm just going to keep doing it. To the champagne room. I said, no more. So Miss Boston and I take it to our dance, and she starts doing it. And then I would say 4 minutes in to the dance, she was like, oh, let's go. Oh, let's Miss Boston to the stage. Miss Boston to the stage. And I'm like, what what do you mean? She was like, I gotta go. I gotta be on the stage. I'm like, what do you mean?
No.
Do I get like a write-off or something? Or are you coming back? Or are you gonna fine me? I paid money. What are you doing?
Yeah, you gonna prorate this shit, or how does this work?
Is this like a credit? Do I get a credit at the end, or do I have to pay another $80? And then I have one girl, I don't know what her name was. I couldn't be. She just kept going. And I'm like, wow, this is the longest dance I've ever had. And she was like, at the end, 120, please. I'm like, damn, plus 10?
Damn.
Damn. I thought you were supposed to stop and say continue. And then I'll say, okay, let me add. So I got 2 dances. I consented to one. I felt like,
Oh God.
I only consented to one, but then I got 2. And then I'm like, okay, I see where you guys get it from. We were so known to the polecats that the bouncers at the door were like, oh, it's Nate and Matthew, or it's John and Matthew, or it's Tom and Dick and Harry. And I'm like, oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, we got a table for you already. I'm like, oh, that's what I'm talking about. I'm VIP. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, that's sometimes how you get to that VIP status, though. It's not about always how much money you spend and all that. Sometimes just going to the same place a couple times, meeting the right people. But yeah, those gentlemen's clubs, they're something. We call them gentlemen's club, but I can't believe half the people going in there are actually gentlemen.
There's some sick people in there.
Yeah, I used to work. I've worked at probably about 5 different gentlemen's clubs. And seen in there. Whew, everything you just said. I already know how the game works. Do I still visit them? Sure. I already know the game you're playing, but yeah, I'm going to go back. But I'll tell you what, one thing that always threw me off about one strip club I worked at, the no sweatpants rule. No sweatpants, no gym shorts.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And the amount of people I would see 2:00 in the morning show up with some, Walmart brand and one basketball shorts. I'm talking about some, what do you mean I can't come in with gym shorts on? Brother, you're not about to come in here with your little hanky-panky out, trying to get your rocks off. And this club, it's just not going to happen. And I mean, some of these people, Josh, they would almost want to fight you in the parking lot because they already knew what they were coming there to do. And I get it. Trust me, I understand it. But God damn, there's some real perverts out there.
I have it's kind of like a catch-22 when it comes to the no sweatpants rule, because at the end of the night when I was waiting for John, and I'm at the front of the club, at the vestibule area, just waiting in the seats for my, for the Uber. And all of a sudden I'm seeing all the ladies leaving, some of the ladies leaving for the night. They got their bags and everything, but they're in sweatpants, they're in hoodies. And I'm like, oh yeah. What the fuck?
Hey, Josh, I'll tell you the worst and nastiest place I've ever been to in my entire life. Changing rooms at strip clubs are the most disgusting, foulest places. And and just in case, God forbid we ever get sponsored by Gentlemen's Club, I will not talk about what goes on in there, but the amount of filth, it's almost impressive when you go into their changing room, because let's say they had a dispute, someone took so-and-so's money off the stage, so-and-so, the mother hen. Cat fights. Who else we got? You got the mother hen in there, the boss, the matron, whatever you call her. She's over there conducting her stable, her flock, telling them what to do. And next you get the call on the radio, hey, we need security. Worst time is, did you hear, oh, we need armed security to the changing room? Oh, Lord, what's going on there that I need to come in from the parking lot? But I will say it's amazing when you go in there and then 20 minutes later you come out, broke up, whatever happened. And then an hour later you see her on the stage and you're like, God, how did you just go from what I saw in that changing room to what's on that stage? It's a miracle what they do in there. And that's all women. The makeup, the detail, all those things that you do to impress us is just, it's amazing. But I think, in my opinion, if you're seeing a dancer come out the front door anywhere in sweatpants, y'all need to send her through the back door. I don't want to know what you look like in your off hours. Go out the back door where nobody can see you.
She looked like she just got out of her uniform and makeup's done, hair in a bun, and she looks like she's waiting for, Netflix and chips and dip. And I'm like,
hell no. Go out the back door. I just spent $120 on this. Go out the back door.
But here's the thing. People think it's Disney World. It's not Disney World. It's somebody's life, but it's like weird. It's kind of cool that you said that they fight.
Oh, yeah.
But they're supposed to be co-workers, but it's pretty cool. We'll get into that the next time of the deep horrors of club life. But we have to take a break and get to our last sponsor. And then we're going into our segment. TikTok is it viral? Well, we're going to say viral videos. We'll be right back.
Do you love looking in the mirror and saying, wow, my hair hasn't looked this good before? Majority of us guys feel like this each time we get a great haircut. Tired of not getting that same feeling? Well, I have the answer. Francisca, who operates Vancura Cuts, is the way to go. Stop going to those ordinary haircut chains that don't give you the same feeling of style and confidence. Let Fran hook you up. She's not that far from the suburbs, just right there in Joliet, Illinois. So follow her now on Instagram at Vancura Cuts, one word, that's VAQUERA, Cuts, and book your appointment now on Booksy.
All right, this has to be the craziest story time on TikTok, virally. That has to be the worst. It's a long story, but tell me what you think. Take a listen.
So I went on a first date last night and I have to tell you guys about it because she showed up 8 months pregnant. Didn't tell me about it and I still stayed. But let me tell you guys why, and as always, if you like my stories, like to hear about my awful dating life, feel free to drop me a follow and let's get right into it. I ended up matching with this girl on Hinge and she had a beautiful profile, great pictures, good prompts, and the conversation over the week and a half before we went out was relatively solid. It was the kind of back and forth that made you excited for the date. So again, after about a week and a half of talking, I asked her if she wanted to go grab dinner last night, and she said yes. So I get out of work yesterday, go home, change, put on a nice fit. I'm feeling good, I'm feeling confident, I'm feeling ready for this date. I conferred with her the morning before, so I headed out to the restaurant. I ended up getting there first. The restaurant didn't look that busy, so I didn't feel any need to go in and put my name in with the host. I decided to wait outside for her. I shot her a text, told her I was here, and I just waited at the front door. Then I saw a car pull up. Nice car, all black, tinted windows, SUV, kind of looked like a rapper's type of car, if that makes any sense. But lady gets out of the car. I want to be very precise about what I saw in the next 3 seconds, because those 3 seconds contained a lot of information that I had to process in real time, while maintaining a facial expression that showed that I'm a normal person, sitting in a normal situation. Lady was pregnant. Not a little bit pregnant, not maybe pregnant, not I just ate a big meal pregnant. She looked like she could go into birth at dinner. Visibly, undeniably pregnant. But she still looks great, and I want to be very clear.
Wait, what? Wait, hold on. Not a little pregnant, not 6 months pregnant, not 2 months pregnant. She was ready to go into birth. What the fuck?
That's wild. That you got to go. You got to get out of that.
And a rapper's car? Really? Okay, what are we dating? Rihanna?
I wish.
All right, continue.
Clear about that. She still looked amazing, warm smile on her face, looked like she was still excited to be there. She smiled at me, gave me a wave, and I smiled back, because what else am I supposed to do? After she got out, the car didn't leave. I need you to hold that detail before we go any further. The car that dropped her off did not leave. We hugged hello, a different kind of hug than I expected this morning, and we stepped back and she said, "You look great." I paused for a minute. I went, you look great too." Without missing a beat, she goes, "Oh, thank you," rubs her stomach and says, "I feel like a planet." I said, "You didn't," and before I even got to finish, she goes, "Does it bother you?" I said it very directly, not in an apologetic way, not in a confused way, just, "Does this bother you, that I'm pregnant?" It was a reasonable question with a yes or no answer. I thought about it for a quick second and I said no. I don't know why I said no. I'm going to be honest with you, I don't want to be a stepfather. Kids are not something that I want in my life right now. I don't know if it was some combination of being raised to be polite and not trying to hurt people's feelings or what it was. She just said, "Good, I'm starving. Can we go in?" So we went in. I held the door for her, we stopped at the host stand, and got seated. We ordered a water without ice because apparently ice isn't enjoyable when you're pregnant, which is something I didn't know. I ordered a beer, and I needed that beer more in this specific moment than in any sort of recent memory. Then something happened that I was not prepared for. The date was going good. I know what you're thinking, and I'm thinking it too. Stay with me now, because what she said at the table is the part that I can't get over. She was funny, she was sharp, in some sort of real way that you don't usually get on first dates. She talked about her life, some of her trauma, very intimate situations. Type of honesty that people have when you can tell that they don't care what other people think anymore. She was direct, she was warm, she asked questions that had meaning. 40 minutes in, she said something that I wasn't expecting at all. She looks at me and goes, "I know this is a lot to walk into." And I said, "Yeah, to be honest, yeah, it's a lot to take in. I didn't expect this." And she followed it up by saying, "I'm not expecting or looking for a father. The baby has a father. I'm just looking for somebody that likes me for me, that is there for me, that wants to be with a real person." And I looked at her. She followed it up by saying, "Most people can't see me. They just see the situation before they see me." I answered instinctually. I just looked at her and I go, I see you. I meant it. And that's the part that I keep coming back to, that I can't stop thinking about. She told me the baby was due in 6 months. She already had a name picked out that her and her baby daddy thought about. I'm not going to tell you what it is on the internet. She said it was something in her voice that I can only describe as settled, calm. Like the name had been figured out, but everything else was still a work in progress, and she felt confident that it was all going to work out. I told her it was a beautiful name, and she told me I know. And we just smiled. At one point, she looked at the window, a quick glance, the type of glance you make when you're trying to check something but you don't want anyone else to notice. It made me look too. The black car was still there. Parked directly across the street, you could see through the window, engine off, just sitting there. I looked back at Lady. She was just looking at her menu at this point, and I didn't want to address the other elephant in the room, so I let it go. That specific pretending sat at the table the entire night. That we both knew.
The car's still there. Who's in the car? Now I'm invested.
I'm not sure who's in the car, but I wouldn't have been waiting around to find out.
That is a very sticky slope. But continue. Now I'm interested.
Sat at the table the entire night. That we both knew that her baby dad was just sitting outside. I need to tell you about the bathroom now, because at some point during the night, I excused myself to go to the bathroom, stood in front of the mirror, and had a full conversation with myself. And I think you need to hear. I excused myself about an hour into the date, went to the bathroom, locked the door, and just stood in front of the mirror. I looked at myself, and I said, out loud, in a random restaurant bathroom on a Wednesday night, "What are you doing?" My reflection did not have a good answer. I said, she is 8 months pregnant. Her baby dad is sitting outside of this restaurant waiting for her to finish the date. You do not know this lady. You have known her for an hour. You're not ready to be a stepfather. That is your one golden rule. No kids. And then I fixed my collar, touched up my hair, and said, you have to go back out there. You have to. I went back out there. I don't know why. I don't know what part of me didn't want to flee and run at that point, but I went back out there. I sat back down. She looked at me and goes, "Are you okay?" And I go, "Yeah, fine. You were in there for a long time." And I told her the line was long. She looked at me like she knew. We both knew. Again. She just smiled and went back to her food. We ended up finishing our entrees, finishing up our meal, and she ordered dessert. She ordered 2 desserts. And I paid for both, without any sort of qualm or issue, because she was 8 months pregnant, and an extra $15 isn't going to make or break me. But it could make her day a whole lot better. I appreciated that even though she didn't tell me she was pregnant beforehand, she showed up and just acted completely like herself. She didn't feel like she was trying to hide anything anymore. Finished, walked outside, and the car was still there. The black car, tinted windows, that car. Window rolled down, the man inside looked at me. I looked at him. He was younger than I was expecting. Good-looking guy, looked very composed, very calm, because God knows if the roles were reversed, I'd be freaking out. He was composed in a way that he'd already decided how this conversation was going to go. He wasn't stressed out about it. He looked at Lady, and Lady looked at me and said, "I'll call you. Thank you so much." The guy in the driver's seat said nothing. He just looked at me. What he gave me wasn't aggressive. It didn't look like he was trying to be intimidating. It had one specific message. I know who you are. That's what I felt through that look. was the look of, if you're in her life, I will know about you and I will know where you are and what you're doing. I don't know why I did what I did next, but I went and got the door for her. The door of this other man's car. And she turned around and hugged me. Told me she had a great time, told me that she'd like to see me again, and then got in the car and drove away. I stood on the sidewalk and watched the car until it was out of my sight. And then I stood there a little bit longer, trying to think about it. Trying to think about what I just agreed to by staying. I didn't know what the night meant. I didn't know if I was going to reach out to her again.
What should you do? What should you do? Well, okay. What to do? What do I do? What would I do? Let me just say this. Take your losses, buddy.
Yeah. You know those movies where people go in the bathroom and try to get out of a date and they climb up those windows and squeeze out. I know I'm a little big. It might be hard for me to get out that window. But I would have made it. There's no chance I'm getting out of that jam. Superman changed in a phone booth. I'm getting out that window.
Yeah, no. I don't care how fat I am. I'm getting into that fucking window and I am moving really quick because first off, the baby daddy is just sitting there like a creep in a dark tinted colored vehicle. I would feel a little,
Yeah, I don't think I would be able to perform on my date because I'd be looking out at this guy's car the whole time. Wild twist, what if it was really her pimp?
That's some crazy
Did you think
shit.
about that?
And then he goes from 6 months to, she's 8 months. Baby's almost due. Baby could be due any minute now. There's some premature, births out there. I'm just saying that's a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Here's our third date, because in a normal date, by the second date, you're either kissing or, whatever the case may be, getting down and
Okay. Your second date closer.
Second date closer. What are you going to do with this? Now you got a baby.
I'm out. There's no conversation about it. Listen, we've all, maybe not everybody, I've been catfished before.
Same.
That's about where I draw the line. If you don't look the way you look, maybe your picture was a dime and you're more like, 5 cents, a little nickel. Hey, things happen, right? Whatever interests you might have had aren't the same. Cool. That's fine. That's not what you put on your profile. That's not, you said your interest for this. It's not that cool. I can adjust. I'm probably still going to close that. But if you show up any month's pregnant, I'm out. I'm out.
I saw that one time on Facebook. She was like, I'm 8 months pregnant, trying to find my forever person. Girl, go back to the baby daddy or talk to me after the kid comes out because you know what? It's too early for you to be back in the dating scene. Too early.
Right. But hey, look, if you told me ahead of time, just let me make my own educated decision as to how I want to move around. But don't show up with your stomach all out. By the way, pregnant women, beautiful women. However, let a brother know ahead of time.
Let me know. Let me know.
Don't drop no weird. That's all.
Bombshell.
Just don't take that away from me.
That's a bombshell. Don't drop it on me at the first date when we're having bread and soup.
Right. I'm thinking we're going to get a booth or something. Now we got to sit at a table because you can't fit in the booth because you didn't say nothing. And we both can't fit in the booth. I got a big stomach too. We both can't fit in the booth.
Go ahead and shove the table over a little bit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, now I got to pivot now. I'm thinking, we're going to get a nice little booth. We'll get to know each other. Now it's like, now we got to sit at the table with the chair that's uneven on one side. So we're just rocking the whole time. No, you got to let me know. That'll mess up the whole integrity of the date. You showing up with your stomach all I'm
to the creator that filmed that. Thank you very much. What I would do for you is be nice, be gentle, and just end it. There's more fish out there in the sea. Just try not to get a crazy pregnant lady with a stalker of a ex baby daddy. That's all. That's all.
Yeah, simple enough. I will say though, pregnant women do love ice. They get ice chips all the time, so I don't know where that part came from.
It was weird. It was weird. I thought that's the only thing that
Yeah.
they eat ice, and that was weird.
Literally love ice chips. So
All right, our thank you message is coming up next, and then we'll get into our end show monologue, and that's it for episode 10. We'll be back.
This is Josh, one of your hosts from the Fellas and Facts podcast. I just want to take the time to say thank you to our fellow listeners, our dedicated listeners who make this show possible. Without you, we cannot do the things that we do. We hope every single day, every single week, when you tune into our episode, you will benefit from it. Get a little bit of feedback, a little bit of help. That is our goal. That is our dream. So let's get to work.
Chicago is going to defrost here soon. I think the bipolar weather is almost over. No more snow, no more rain, no more hail. Tons of rain. It's April. April showers bring May flowers. It's going to get warm. I'm excited, EJ, to get out with you. Hit the club life on the north side. Try some restaurants. See what the summer of Chicago brings us, man. I can't wait to talk. I can't wait to poll these people, meet the people, get us out there, and I'm excited.
let's have some fun. That's all I want. Let's just have a good time. I'm only going to be up north. I think we're going to be moving soon. So for the year that we're going to be here, let's just live our best life.
I agree. The only thing that I don't love about you, Chicago, I love the way you look, the vibes, but I don't love crime. I don't love politics. I don't agree with you. I mean, you were telling me that somebody went into your car. What happened there?
Yeah, just a simple Tuesday night. Wake up in the morning, about to go, got my phones, got my personal phone, got my work phone, get in the car, about to throw them both on the charger, and I noticed that my charger is gone, and there's a handful of napkins on my passenger seat, in which I immediately went to go check everything else. I was like, oh, yep, someone went through my car. For you, sir, you can go screw yourself. Don't appreciate it. There wasn't much in my car. If you're stealing my charger out of my car, that means you have a phone, which means you have some sort of money, which means you probably have a vehicle too, because it's a car charger. If you got to plug in a cigarette lighter, where are you going to go plug that in? That means you probably got a car somewhere. You didn't need it. But I do appreciate you shutting the door, because it was raining sideways outside pretty hard. The curb had about 2 inches of water, so I can only imagine if you didn't shut my door. But it just wasn't necessary. So Chicago, love you, Josh. Can't wait to go out with you, have some fun. But for the person that broke into my car, go kick rocks with no shoes on. And I hope you stub your toe on the corner of the bed.
And then the napkins part, you must be having a little bit of, sinuses or some kind of allergy. Did you take the Allegra?
But left Allegra there just fine. Don't understand. I would have took that. That's at least worth some currency around here. But you took napkins, and here's the thing, John, it wasn't even the good napkins. It was the napkins that you get from like some nasty ass McDonald's that still got the grease on it. And I had a whole stack in there. And you know when you get those napkins, you got to move the first like 4 or 5 napkins out the way to get rid of the grease stains on the napkins, and the rest of them are good. So that means you left all the good napkins that were nice and dry and decided to take the old greasy napkins. Why? Just why? I'm sorry. I digress, man. That shit.
Oh, Chicago, you don't seem to surprise us. As always, stay up to date with news and updates at the Fellas of Facts on Facebook. Listen to us on Apple, YouTube, and Spotify. We like to thank all of our followers and supporters each week who continue to listen in. I checked our analytics the other day. We are getting heard in Kentucky, Indiana, Springfield. Everyone in Illinois, I want you to listen. And if you are in other states that are not in Illinois, give us a like, give us a follow, give us a comment. Tell us what you like and don't like. We take your suggestions to entertain you guys. I love doing what we do, but there's some people who may not agree. But hey, we'll take it into account. We take everybody's opinions into account. Might not always follow them, but we'll take your opinion there. If you like to get in contact with us, email us at thefellows1295@gmail.com. Sponsors, we are waiting your arrival. We would like to sponsor your products. Again, we're not. He's going to say something. He's going to laugh because before the first recording, I'm going to put a blooper reel out. He was like, "Did you hear what you said? You said it. You were saying it so fast, so it didn't register as you were saying it." But yeah, you're going to come at us? No, sponsors, we don't want you to do that. We want you to support us, comment on us, and then we'll go from there. But as always, I'm Josh.
I'm EJ.
And you are always listening to The Facts. We'll see you next time.